Welcome to SATV News. This is Riaz Mahmood with our headlines. People will regain their snatched rights on February 12, says Tariq Rahman. Poor families will be helped through farmer and family cards. No dynastic politics will remain in country if Jamaat comes to power, says Dr. Shafiqur Rahman. No fear of destabilizing upcoming elections, says Home Advisor. Government committed to holding polls peacefully. And now in details. BNP chairperson Tariq Rahman said people will regain their snatched rights on February 12. He made the remark at a huge election rally at Mymensingh Circuit House ground this afternoon. Tariq Rahman also said that the poor families will be helped through agricultural cards and family cards. Employment opportunities will be created for the unemployed, who added. Earlier in the day, thousands of leaders and activists joined the procession at the public meeting venue since morning. Leaders, activists and supporters from 4 districts of the division joined the public meeting. The party chairman introduced the 24 BNP nominated candidates from the 4 districts to the public. Jamaat-e-Islami Amir Dr. Shafiqur Rahman has said his party is not seeking a Jamaat victory but victory for the country's 18 crore people. He also said a new political culture will be established in Bangladesh by putting an end to the country's past dynasty-based politics. He made these remarks while addressing a public election rally as the chief guest at the Joshore Eidgah ground this morning. Announcing development plans, the Jamaat leader said that if his party comes to power, Joshore Paurasabha will be upgraded to a city corporation. He also promised the establishment of a 500-bed hospital at Joshore Medical College, alongside improvements to transport systems and physical infrastructure. Speaking about the referendum, which will be organized on the same day of the 30th parliamentary election on February 12, Shafiqur Rahman said, a yes vote in the referendum means freedom, while a no vote means servitude. On 12 February, the yes vote will come first, followed by the vote for forming the government. Addressing the administration, he further said it must remain neutral and stand on the side of the people. Home Affairs Advisor Muhammad Jahangir Alam Chaudhary has said there is no apprehension of destabilizing the election, claiming that militants and terrorists fled abroad after August 5 and that their supporters are no longer active at home. He said those who left the country lacked the courage to return and were instead saying various things from abroad. He urged other countries to hand over what he described as militant and fascist elements to Bangladesh and said that if they had the courage, they should come back and speak by seeking legal recourse. Jahangir Alam made these remarks today while speaking as the chief guest at the completion ceremony of the 63rd batch basic training course for female prison guards at the Kashimpur prison complex in Ghazipur. Turning to the responsibilities of prison personnel, he warned that any member of the prison service who acts out of personal interest, greed or political advantage does not only break the law but also weakens the foundations of the state. He said prison staff are not protectors of vested groups but government employees paid with the taxpayers' money, and that public welfare should be their sole commitment. The key question of the referendum is whether Bangladeshis want to change the current system or allow fascism to resurface, said Special Assistant to the Chief Advisor Professor Ali Riaz today. He made the remarks during a discussion with the followers of Hindu religions to promote the referendum and motivate voters. The event was held at the National Museum's main auditorium in Dhaka, where he highlighted the stakes surrounding the July National Charter 2025. The discussion was also attended by political figures including Special Assistant to the Chief Advisor Monir Haidar and Secretary of the Ministry of Religious Affairs Muhammad Kamaluddin. All voiced strong support for the proposed reforms, warning that a no vote could pave the way for the return of fascism in Bangladesh. Professor Ali Riaz highlighted the oppressive governance that he said had led to the loss of basic rights for millions of Bangladeshis during the 16 years of previous leadership. He also said that July Charter would ensure the religious rights of every citizen and help build a society based on equality, human dignity and social justice. The International Crimes Tribunal 2 today concluded hearings in the Crimes Against Humanity case over the murder of Abu Said during the July 2024 uprising. The three-member tribunal said that the verdict would be delivered any day. The bench is headed by retired High Court Judge Nazrul Islam Chaudhry with retired District Judge Muhammad Manzoorul Basid and Judge Nur Muhammad Shahriar Kabir as members. The case accuses former Begum Rokeya University Vice Chancellor Hasibur Rashid Bachu and 29 others of involvement in the killings. 6 accused are currently in custody. 9 other university officials, including the former Vice Chancellor Hasibur Rashid Bachu, remain absconding. 6 former police officers are also fugitives. They are former Rangpur Metropolitan Police Commissioner Muhammad Munir Zaman Beltu, former Deputy Commissioner Muhammad Abu Maruf Hussain Titu, former Additional Deputy Commissioner Muhammad Shah Nur Alam Patwari Shumon, former Assistant Commissioner Muhammad Arifuzzaman Jibon, former Tazhat Police Station Officer in charge Rabiul Islam Nayon and University Police Camp in charge Sub-Inspector Bibhuti Bhushan Roy Madhop. 8 absconding Bangladesh Chhatra League leaders are also accused. Election Commissioner, retired Brigadier General Abul Fazl Muhammad Sanaullah has said that the future of any officer or person responsible for election duties will be bleak if they lose impartiality. He made the remark this morning during a meeting with the Law and Order Cell and the Vigilance and Observation Team at the Noakhali Deputy Commissioner's Conference Room ahead of the upcoming 30th National Parliamentary Elections and Referendum. EC Sanaullah said, "We want to deliver a fair, smooth and acceptable election through everyone's best efforts. No compromise will be allowed in this regard. All those responsible for the election must coordinate with one another and perform their duties properly." He further said that the village of police and Ansar VDP members are well aware of who possesses illegal weapons, whether outsiders are present in the locality, and who is alive or deceased. Viewers, we're taking a short break. Stay with us.
সারা দেশে লাখো মানুষের কঠোর কর্মতৎপরতা ও নিষ্ঠায় এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন 16 কোটি মানুষের হাতের নাগালে। দীর্ঘ 30 বছর ধরে বিশ্বস্ততা ও দ্রুততার সাথে সেবা দেওয়ায় গ্রাহক সেবায় এখন শীর্ষে। বাংলাদেশে গ্রাহক সেবার সাফল্যের পর এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন বিশ্ব বাণিজ্য কেন্দ্র সিঙ্গাপুরে। আপনার যে কোনো পণ্য সিঙ্গাপুর থেকে বাংলাদেশে বুকিং এর জন্য যোগাযোগ করুন। এসএ পরিবহন প্রাইভেট লিমিটেড, লজিস্টিক্স পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস, 22 Roberts Lane, Singapore 218302. Phone 0065 629 24900.
Welcome back. You are watching SATV News. Now, news from abroad. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte said on Monday that he and the US President Donald Trump have agreed on 2 work streams to reduce tensions over the semi-autonomous territory of Greenland, a strategic Arctic region. Rutte told members of the European Parliament that one of the work streams falls under NATO's collective responsibility. One work stream is for NATO collectively to take more responsibility for the defense of the Arctic, Rutte said. He added that NATO's role will focus on preventing Russia and China from gaining greater access to the Arctic region. The second work stream, according to Rutte, will not involve NATO, but instead cover continued discussions between the US, Denmark and Greenland regarding strategic and defense-related issues. Rutte further said Europe is not capable of defending itself without the United States, pushing back against growing calls for the continent to stand on its own militarily amid rising geopolitical tensions, including over Greenland.
As these discussions to secure a long and lasting peace, my relationship with
Russian drone overnight attack on the southern city of Odessa injured 23 people and 9 people were hospitalized, Regional Governor Oleg Kipa said on Telegram on Tuesday. State Emergency Service of Ukraine in the Odessa region released a video showing firefighters evacuating people and clearing rubble from a
বাংলাদেশ থেকে সিঙ্গাপুরে পণ্য বুকিং এর জন্য যোগাযোগ করুন ঢাকা সহ দেশের যে কোনো ৮০টি শাখা কেন্দ্রে এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল এন্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস আপনার সেবা সব সময়
Welcome, Grand Palace Hotel, Dhaka. A majestic lobby blending timeless elegance with modern design. Experience 5-star comfort in suites and rooms. Sophisticated fine dining restaurant. Crystal clear swimming pool for ultimate relaxation.
It's not a time to draw even parliamentary conclusions on Ukraine crisis peace talks, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said on Monday in the interview to Russian state TV channel RU24. Latest round of Russia-US-Ukraine talks was held in the UAE last weekend. It would not be appropriate to discuss various aspects of this work in a fragmented way and in public, Peskov added. Earlier on Monday, the Kremlin said that the territorial issue remains of fundamental importance to Russia in peace talks with the United States and Ukraine. Russia and Ukraine concluded the second day of US-mediated talks in Abu Dhabi on Saturday without an agreement, but the discussions are expected to continue next weekend. Statements following the meeting made no mention of an agreement, but Moscow and Kyiv expressed their readiness to continue dialogue.
Предварительное, это только начало работы, работа на экспертном уровне.
Protesters created a loud commotion outside a Minnesota hotel where Gregory Bovino was reportedly staying on Monday after the official was removed from his role as the commander of LURG for the U.S. Border Patrol. Bovino will leave Minnesota along with some of the agents deployed with him and return to his former job in California, where he is expected to retire soon, The Atlantic reported on Monday, citing a Department of Homeland Security official and 2 people with knowledge of the change. The DHS, Customs and Border Protection and the White House did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Bovino has become a leading public face and an outspoken advocate for Trump's deportation crackdowns, often seen leading groups of heavily armed federal agents roving city streets. Earlier on Monday, U.S. President Donald Trump and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz each struck a conciliatory tone after a private phone call about immigration enforcement, a sign that 2 sides were seeking a way to end their standoff over a deportation drive that has claimed the lives of 2 U.S. citizens in Minneapolis.
Agent, Mr. Marcos Charles chooses to be an ICE agent, but enforcing the law, that's not a choice, that is a duty. As we all know.
German Chancellor Friedrich Merz on Monday expressed a concern over the fatal shooting of a U.S. citizen during an operation by officers of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement in Minneapolis. A 37-year-old man was shot and killed Saturday in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the city's second fatal shooting of a U.S. citizen by federal agents this month. The U.S. government described the fatal shooting as self-defense. However, video footage of the scene posted online paints a different picture. The killing of Alex Preddy, who worked as an intensive care nurse at a Veterans Affairs Medical Center in Minneapolis, further inflamed tensions, sparking street clashes between protesters and law enforcement. The incident followed the fatal shooting on January 7 of Renee Good, a 37-year-old mother, by an immigration and customs enforcement officer on Jan 7 in Minneapolis.
Des Nordseegipfels mit dem Bundeskanzler und der dänischen Premierministerin.
South Korea scrambled on Tuesday to assure the U.S. It remained committed to implementing a trade deal after President Donald Trump said he would hike tariffs on autos and other imports from its ally, blaming a delay in enacting the pact agreed last year. At a meeting focused on the issue, ruling Democratic Party lawmaker Kim Young-jin said the National Assembly was handling the measures through normal and proper procedures. The Democratic Party said 5 bills that would enact the U.S. investment are now pending committee review and urged the opposition to speed up the process. It did not give a timeline for the parliamentary vote. Speaking to journalists, a spokesperson from the People Power Party signaled it was open to moving forward, but argued that formal parliamentary ratification may be needed. Donald Trump said on Monday that South Korea's parliamentary was not living up to its side of the deal by swiftly enacting the agreement that it reached with President Lee Jae-myung to make huge investments in U.S. business projects in return for tariff cuts.
한미 간의 양해관세에 준하는 형태로 조속히 입법을 진행을 한다라는 것이 저희들의 일관된 입장입니다.
A fire broke out after an explosion at a biscuit factory near the central Greek city of Trikala on Monday, killing 3 people and leaving another 2 missing. According to the factory owner, the cause was unclear. 8 of 13 people at the factory managed to escape, while 3 bodies were recovered and another 2 people were missing.
Modern gym and serene spa for well-being. Perfect venue for corporate events, weddings and parties. Seamless and secured. Elegant and eye-catching design. Indulge, relax, discover the first 5-star chain hotels in Bangladesh. Grand Palace Hotel Dhaka.
Venezuela expects about $1.4 billion in investment in oil projects operating under production sharing contracts this year, interim President Delcy Rodriguez said on Monday, up from nearly $900 million in 2025. Rodriguez made the remarks at a state oil company PDVSA's headquarters in Caracas during a meeting with oil executives, lawyers and lawmakers as officials discussed a proposed reform of Venezuela's main oil law that would formally incorporate the output sharing contracts. We currently have 29 production participation contracts signed. Last year, investment amounted to almost $900 million, and this year is estimated and projected to reach $1.4 billion, Rodriguez said, adding that the contract models converge. China is willing to enhance mutual trust, strengthen communication and deepen cooperation with Finland, President Xi Jinping said in a meeting with Finnish Prime Minister Petteri Orpo on Tuesday. Orpo is in Beijing to meet with the Chinese leadership from January 25 to 28. China stands ready to work with Finland to uphold the international system with the United Nations as its core, China's Xinhua news agency reported Xi as saying. She also hoped that Finland would play a constructive role in promoting the healthy and stable development of China-EU relations, Xinhua added. Officials from India and the European Union on Tuesday signed a landmark trade deal along with other agreements such as the India-EU Security and Defence Partnership. The signing ceremony was witnessed by President of the European Commission Ursula von der Leyen, President of the European Council Antonio Costa and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The trade deal is expected to double EU exports to India by 2032 by eliminating or reducing tariffs in 96.6% of traded goods by value and will lead to savings of 4 billion euros in duties for European companies, the EU say. The EU will cut tariffs on 99.5% goods traded over 7 years, with tariffs to be cut to zero on Indian marine goods, leather and textile products, chemicals, rubber, base metals and gems and jewelry, India's Trade Ministry said in a statement. The third trial of the man accused of ordering the 2018 killing of the Slovakian investigative journalist has begun on Monday in a case that triggered mass protests against graft. Marian Konkna is alleged to have ordered the killings of the Janku Siyak.
22 Kakrail, Dhaka, Bangladesh.
Welcome to Grand Club at Mirpur 10 Dhaka. Elegant spa and wellness facility for ladies and gents. Play pool and snooker in international standard billiard zone.
Before ending, we go through the headlines again. People will regain their snatched rights on February 12, says Tariq Rahman. Poor families will be helped through farmer and family cards. No dynastic politics will remain in country if Jamaat comes to power, says Dr. Shafiqur Rahman. No fear of destabilizing upcoming elections, says Home Advisor. Government committed to holding polls peacefully. You are updated with our top stories so far here on SATV, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.